What's going on, everyone? Welcome on into NZ for 3, where we talk Sixers nonstop. Hit that like and subscribe button if you're new around here, but let's get right down to business. So we got a couple Sixers trade rumors that we need to talk about, and they involve Kelly Oubre and Andre Drummond. So according to NBA Central, the Philadelphia 76ers are looking to potentially move Oubre per Jake L. Fisher, and then we got one that was posted earlier today. The Brooklyn Nets are a potential landing spot for Andre Drummond if the Sixers decide to shed salary per Nets Daily, and none of these are from Shams, and I think a lot of these reporters or whatever, you kind of got to take them with a grain of salt. But we are still deep into the NBA offseason. The NFL just started. No one really cares about the Sixers right now, but here on NZ for 3, man, we still keep talking about them. We still keep finding things to talk about because we are just flat out Sixers sickos, and we are in it for real. But the Sixers are, I guess, potentially looking to move Drummond and Oubre, and my reaction to all of this is just a big whopping meh, because I'm no longer in the mindset of the Sixers being contenders. Joel Embiid and Paul George, they're just cooked at this point, and it's really hard for me to take this team seriously and take these reports seriously, given that it's not really going to change anything in the long run, man. I mean, Kelly Oubre, we'll start with him. I mean, he's a really controversial player on this team. Go ask Sixers fans, and you're going to get so many different opinions. Well, some will say that he's a pretty, good role player who has a lot of heart, a lot of grit, and will, die for loose balls, be a decent scorer off the bench, and provide some decent rebounding. And Kelly, he did put up some decent numbers last season, at least given how terrible the situation was for the Sixers. Let's go to Basketball Reference real quick. So, he was putting up around 15 points per game, 6 rebounds. Now, we do like that. We do like that because the 76ers, they just suck at rebounding, and no one on this team really boxes out. And Kelly Oubre, he does show that hustle. Rebounding is hustle. Yeah, and Kelly, he is a... some are going to say that he's worse than Furkan Korkmaz and that he's the worst player to ever touch an NBA floor. And I don't really lean that hard either way. I think that every role player, they have their strengths and they have their weaknesses. And Oubre, he definitely has his ups and downs as a player. He's definitely really good at showing, playing hard, man. He just plays hard. And yeah, of course, they're in the NBA. They're supposed to play hard. But given the 76ers, given how lackadaisical some of these teams have been in the past, and the influx of old washed dudes who don't have it anymore, having an athletic wing like Kelly Oubre it was a breath of fresh air, man. I mean, one of the Sixers when have they had an actual, competent, semi-competent athletic wing? I mean, other than like Robert Covington, or go all the way back and you got Andre Iguodala. But Oubre, he's a good slasher, he's a good finisher at the rim. Let's go check his he did shoot 70% at the rim last season, and 32% of his shots came from 0 to 3 feet. So that was, that's pretty impressive. And Kelly Oubre, he definitely has a very it's very easy to tell what he is good at, man. I mean, he shot 29% from 3 last season. I think that's a lot of reasons why Sixers fans just don't like him, and it's just the fact that he cannot space the floor very consistently and at a reliable clip. And I understand that. The Sixers, they have not done a good job in providing Embiid with ample floor spacing. I mean, they kept trying to think that Tobias Harris could be that, but he kind of like Oubre is an interior player. But at least with Oubre, at least he's willing to sling it. I'd rather have a player, put those shots up rather than players who are just extremely passive and don't shoot at all because they care too much about their stats. That's what Ben Simmons did. That's what Tobias did. And it made the offense so stagnant. Now, Oubre, he does have a reputation. He does have a nickname for diehard Sixers fans. Kelly, the possession ends here, Oubre. And, there are times where he can be really frustrating, just pulling up from 3 with so many hands in his face, and kind of you're being really, really infuriating to watch. All right, I'm gonna admit there have been times where I was screaming for Kelly Oubre to get off the floor, but there are other times where I was cheering for him the most, and I was getting the most hyped up about the team because of what Kelly was doing on the floor, whether it was a great dunk or a good momentum shifting catch and shoot 3 or something. Kelly Oubre Jr., he is a decent role player. Does he fit that well with the Sixers? I mean, from a floor spacing perspective, not really, but he is an athletic wing. He is a decent defender, and he does provide scoring off the bench, and the Sixers, they have always needed that. And I think Kelly, he could still produce on a championship team, maybe in a bit of a bench role. Definitely not a starter, but I think in a bench role. And the Sixers, they have a hidden gem in Justin Edwards. And Justin Edwards, he just showed a lot more poise than Oubre, man. He was a better shooter from deep, and he should be getting more minutes than him, to be honest. I mean, like I said with Oubre, I don't really lean one way or the other with him. I think the Sixers, they need to focus on collecting draft picks. If they could trade Oubre and get some good picks in return, probably not thinking a first-round pick. I mean, I think that'd be ridiculous. If Daryl Morey can pull that off, that would be awesome. But I'm not going to be excited if the Sixers trade for another, decent role player or whatever, because it's not really going to change anything, man. It's not going to change anything. I think at this point, Joel Embiid and Paul George, they're just flat out cooked. The Sixers need to focus for the future, focus on the future. And regarding Andre Drummond too, Andre Drummond, he's one of those players where you look at the stats and you think that he's really good, but you actually watch him play and he's terrible. Andre Drummond, I've never seen a player so big miss so many wide open layups. I mean, let me know down below if you've ever seen a player miss so many wide open layups more than Andre Drummond, or maybe Matisse Thybulle as well. He missed a bunch of bunnies. Andre Drummond, he had this reputation of being one of the best rebounders ever, and he is. It's just he didn't really make that much of a difference for the Sixers last year, and you can say that's because he is a role player. You can't really expect these role players to step up and try and get you extra wins when your star's injured and your stars are hurt constantly and can't get on the floor whatsoever. And yeah, Oubre and Drummond, they're going to look a lot better with less spotlight because role players, they have more flaws than stars. Stars are driving the offense and, anchoring your defense as well. They need to be able to actually get on the floor, though, for the Sixers to have any chance of winning. That's always what's been happening with Embiid and, making these additions like Paul George as well. You need the guys who are making the majority of your salary cap actually be playing on the floor. I don't expect these role players whatsoever to, be able to produce that much when it should not be asked of them. They're not getting paid that much for a reason. And the Sixers, they have Oubre, I think, at $8 million this season. Drummond, $5 million, both for, 1-year deals. So if they can't move them, then after this season, they can just clear the books then. But if they want to get some value in return, that would be great. To get some draft picks, and I think getting some draft compensation for these two players, that would be a pretty savvy move by Daryl Morey. And Morey, he's done a good job of finding these diamonds in the rough. Kelly Oubre, he was actually playing really well when the Sixers originally got him at the beginning of the 2024 season before he got hit by a car, because he plays for the 76ers, and, there's always just that dark cloud of, whatever can go wrong will go wrong. I mean, Oubre was playing the best basketball of his career, and, to play devil's advocate a little bit, he was playing well in that Knicks series, at least in the playoffs, more of a playoff riser than Tobias Harris ever was. And the Sixers, if they're looking to move him, I understand it. They, at least from the perspective of them building towards the future, I don't think, Oubre, he can really help you right now, especially with Embiid and Paul George looking like they're kind of, going towards the end of their careers. And Andre Drummond, you have a Dembona, just hand him the keys, man. Give a Dembona the backup center minutes, or maybe he's going to be starting a lot this season. I think a Dembona, he's an athletic freak, and you need to give him some time next to Maxey, VJ, and Jared McCain, because they're the core for going into the future, man. And Dembona, he was a lot of fun to watch last season because he actually dunks. He can catch lobs. He can rebound really well. He has a huge fouling problem. But, if you want him to get better at not fouling, you got to give him some more exposure on the court. And Nick Nurse, he's going to defer to his veterans this season, man. That's why we're so upset about Lowry and Eric Gordon coming back, because we know Nick Nurse, he loves to play his veterans just like Doc Rivers. And I made this prediction on Run It Back Philly's show that Andre Drummond's going to be starting for the Sixers, because Embiid, he's probably not going to be playing the first game. Paul George might, Embiid probably like a 90% chance that he's not, and he's probably going to start Drummond. And if they can move off both of them for some good draft compensation, that'd be cool. But that's pretty much all I got to say. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you're new around here. We're going to keep pumping out the content. Be sure to let me know, though, in the comments what you think about these reports. What do you think about Oubre, Drummond? Should the Sixers keep him? Should they move him? Let me know in the comments. And that's pretty much it, man. Hope y'all have a good one. Peace.